2003, Total Air has been keeping Tampa Bay area homes cool with friendly service, skilled male and female techs, and easy online booking. Perfect for your hot Florida days.
Good to go?
Good to go.
Total Air, cool responsibly.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Sponsored by Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power. And Total Air.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Friday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Thank you very much for joining us. We are live on streaming. We are live on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Not the spot tonight, the WNBA. It's a Friday night tradition, and the WNBA is, don't know who's playing, but they're on at 7:30, so it's just us. It's kind of the OG group. Now, we are going to have a, I'm going to jump right into weather. I'm going to be answering your questions. Sean, how you doing? Just spent an hour trying to fix his stupid doorbell camera. I'm guessing it looks like alcohol. So when we're not on the spot, we have a little more interaction, a little more chit chat. So I want to tell you what we're going to do here, okay? Since we're not limited to commercial breaks, or we are limited to streaming at 58, so I do want to get out clean on that. But I had a chance. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the artist known as Banksy. I had not been until a few months ago. Now I'm kind of obsessed with him. Well, him or her, because we technically don't even know who this is. Matter of fact, some people even called the artist Banksy as opposed to Banksy because might it be a woman? So there's a lot of mystery. There might be those who know, and it seems that these folks who do know seem to think that it's a guy, but his, her, whatever, art is on display for the next couple of months at Straz Center. What they've done, it's really cool. So they've got the main area, right, the main giant theater, right, they've got it cornered off and built walls on the stage with his art. And I had a chance to go with the producer of the show, who's from Toronto, and we did kind of a walk and talk, looking at the exhibit, talking about the artist, talking about some rumors, and I really strongly suggest taking the time. It opened today, and I'm telling you, it was jam-packed. There were so many people in there. And a lot of the art is actually art that is owned by private collectors. One of the more famous ones actually is owned by Brad Pitt. And they give the art on loan to the tour, and it travels around the world. So anyway, coming up in a couple of minutes, we are going to I'm going to play that. I did that this afternoon. We're going to talk with the producer. He's going to show you some of the most famous art, and one of which is the thing that if you do know Banksy in casual, you may have heard this. So there's one picture, one of his more famous pictures. It's of a little girl with a red balloon and in the shape of a heart. And this was sold back in 2018. And the artist had it set. It was set for an online sale, I guess. The artist had it set for the second that sale went final, that picture was shredded through a shredder. There was a border on top, and nobody knew that it was a shredder, or I guess it would have been on the bottom. I don't remember. But whatever it was, the minute it went through the shredder. And it actually stopped halfway, it appeared. Can you imagine spending millions of dollars on artwork and looking at it, and then all of a sudden, boom, the shredder shreds it? Well, from an investment standpoint, the value of that picture skyrocketed because it was such an interesting thing. So if you look at it, the bottom half is shredded and the top half is still solid. So anyway, kind of a cool thing. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And that runs, I'm going to run that in a few minutes, so we'll be out by 58 and we can get back to weather. So let's go ahead and jump into the weather right now. Today, kind of like what we said last night with the NWSMIC, Todd, we thought today would be less active than yesterday, and it was. There are still some showers in Citrus County. Tomorrow will be a little more active than today, but Sunday is definitely the day where there will be more rain than on Saturday, especially in our northern counties. Maria, Bayonet Point, how you doing? Christina in Salisbury, North Carolina. Bill in Tarpons here. So Gregory wants to know what the weather in Pasco is going to be. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to jump right in. All right. So there's a look at rainfall over the last 24 hours. Again, most areas picked up at least some rain. St. Pete, I suggest checking your life choices because the second straight day, St. Pete has not gotten hardly any rain at all. Homestead's in the house, home of Hurricane Andrew. Joe, how you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, there's the rain. There's been some really solid, thank you, Pauline. There's been some really solid rainfall totals, but tonight will be mostly dry. Abigail's flying into Tampa tomorrow at 3 p.m. How will the weather be? You will be dodging showers. I would not expect to see flight stoppages, but it has already happened twice in the last 2 weeks. I would be inclined to think on Sunday, there may be some significant delays. And again, we'll touch on that in a minute. Red is setting up her Halloween decorations this weekend. That's pretty awesome. Temperatures right now in the mid to upper 80s. We did see some sunshine. Out there today. That bumped our temperatures up to about 90. Lori in Bradenton, how you gonna do? Greg, Avon Park, how you doing? So, was there a problem with this? I mean, I was on at 7:30, but for some reason, did it not show on some of the venues? Because I'm seeing people say, "Oh, there we are," but we were there from 7:30 on, so I'm not really sure. Anyway, there's a look at the satellite. All right, let's look at Futurecast. Bartow checking in from Polk Clinton. How you doing? All right, so driving from Texas as we speak, Terry says, currently in Louisiana right now, headed to Destin on Sunday to Orlando. Weather updates. Sunday will be the day you will see more rain. All right, let's go ahead and look at it. Hour by hour here, okay? Overnight, mostly dry. Not even a lot of action out in the Gulf. 6 a.m. tomorrow, few showers. Here is the recurring theme to our forecast. The farther north that you live, the better the chances you're going to see rain. That's both Saturday and Sunday. The coverage will be greater on Sunday, but the farther north you are, the better the chances. You're closer to that front. 7 a.m. on Saturday, 8 a.m. on Saturday, still mostly Hernando and Citrus. 9 a.m. things start to build more in the Gulf. We start to see a few showers around Pinellas and Pasco. 10 a.m., everything just kind of hanging out along the sea breeze. So mid to late morning, the coverage begins to increase. But again, look where the more widespread totals are. Northern counties. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, starts to push inland, still lingering along the coast, not much south of I-4, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now in the evening on Saturday, the coverage starts to increase in the Gulf and inland. So starting on Saturday evening, I would expect to see the greater rain coverage. Again, I-4 North will be the heaviest totals, but look at how this is lingering. I'm going to go back again. This is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Look at the area, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's just raining. So from Saturday evening through the overnight, more rain moves in from the Gulf. There's 5 a.m. on Sunday, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Look at the coverage. Just really, really solid. And look out in the Gulf, even south on Sunday. More starts to move in. So the coverage on Sunday will be more widespread than it will be tomorrow. Solid rain potential from mid to late morning through the afternoon as it finally starts to move inland. So yeah, I think we're going to have really, really solid coverage. Okay? Now I want to show you the Euro real quick. And then we got to take our package. It's a 15-minute package, and then we'll come back in and do weather afterwards as well. Here's a look at the Euro, okay? So tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., look at where it is, Pinellas North, along the coast. 2 p.m., northern counties again. See that? Northern counties, recurring theme here. 8 p.m. on Saturday night, heaviest rain north and inland. The coast gets a little bit of a break. 8 a.m. on Sunday, boom, there it is again. Coastal areas and north, 8 a.m. on Sunday. 2 p.m. on Sunday, widespread, west of I-75, less inland, more north. That blue color shows some heavy rain. It pushes inland by Sunday night, and then on Monday, 8 a.m., still along the coast, but maybe a little less coverage, and then we start to dry out and back to normal, typical August weather, which historically August is our rainiest month of the year with the rainy season. What we're looking at the next couple of days is a front and rain and moisture with that front. A lot of clouds. All weekend, lots of clouds. Let me go to the 7-day. I'm going to show you exactly kind of what I mean, and then we got to take the package and we'll come back. So overall, oh, I got to activate it over here just a second. We should have just enough time to run the package and still make it to the out on streaming. Why is this not working? This is weird. My map is not, my button is not working. Maybe I need a new battery. All right, let's just go ahead and take the 7-day for you real quick, and then I'll call it up. 7-day. Okay, take it here, and there it is. All right, so rain coverage tomorrow, 60%. There will be sun tomorrow mixed in with mostly cloudy skies, some sun, highs around 90, best chance of rain north of I-4. Sunday, widespread clouds, widespread rain, coverage 70 to 80%. And then notice more sunshines Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. More typical August weather, hotter, highs in the low 90s, afternoon and evening thunderstorms. All right? Okay, so we're going to run this package. It's a long one. It's a walk and talk with the entire exhibit. It is a really, really cool exhibit. It's called The Art of Banksy at the Straz. It runs through September. Check it out, and then we'll be back to answer more questions as DPL continues. And now, The Art of Banksy. How you doing, DPLers? It is a Friday, and we have got The Art of Banksy at Straz Center, and this runs until September, so I'm really excited about this. I have a feeling a lot of y'all are too. This is the entrance right in here, so let's go check it out. All right, here we are. We are here with Corey Ross, and Corey, you are the producer of The Art of Banksy, and so what we're going to do, we're just going to do a walk and talk. We are literally going to kind of show everybody what we got going on, and you already told me right off the bat, over here, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here, because this is super cool.
Well, okay, so Banksy is this mysterious British graffiti artist who was very political and very active from the mid-90s till today. But what we have here on the wall, and this is really just the beginning of the exhibit, we have these placards that he made when he was protesting with a bunch of friends, protesting the war in Iraq. So we're talking about 25 years ago. And so they made hundreds of these placards that were original Banksys, but it was at the time no one knew Banksy. At the end of the protest, most people just threw these on the ground. A few people saved them. They're worth millions of dollars now.
That's like hitting the lottery. That's amazing.
Yep, and pays to save your protest placards.
Remember that one. All right, so what else do we have going on over here? So we're just this is just kind of be like a walk and talk. There's a lot of people around, so this is just going to be kind of fun.
This whole area is a timeline of Banksy's career, so it sort of takes you through some of the seminal pieces that he made early in his career.
All right,
so we got Che Guevara, but he's a symbol of money.
And obviously, like I said, we are in the middle of the exhibit. It just opened up. It runs through September.
It runs through September. It's only 60 days here, which may seem like a long time to Tampa, but it's the shortest run that we've had. And the reason for that is that we're actually on stage at the Straz Center. And it's the first time we've done a show like this on stage. And as you can see when you're looking around, it looks fantastic. The lighting is fantastic. Like, you can achieve stuff on stage in a theater that you can't achieve anywhere else, really. But we're here between Broadway shows, so it's really only 8 weeks, so you got to get out now and see the show.
All right, let's keep walking this way. So here we go. So what do we have coming up on here?
So all of this is taking you through the history of Banksy. And now Banksy's known as a graffiti artist, so you would think that all of his work is on the street. But simultaneously, he was creating work either for friends and family initially, but then eventually for collectors. And so he sold pieces for millions and millions of dollars to collectors. And it's the collectors who have donated all of these pieces to us to help us exhibit them and really show the world what Banksy is about from behind the scenes.
So do you have any insight? I will be honest, I mean, I have never been a massive person who learned how to appreciate art until recently, and I think a lot of people, what they know of Banksy especially is that artwork that was shredded. I mean, that is urban legend.
Well, let's go right ahead. I'm going to show you that artwork.
Oh, we have that here. Oh, I did not know that. That was literally not a tease. So
this is Ben Ives. So Ben was one of Banksy's friends who was key in beginning the work of creating prints. So when Banksy started out, and in this exhibit we have prints, we have sculptures, we have original paintings, but Ben was there at the beginning of commercializing Banksy's art. So you really get a behind-the-scenes story from him about how the prints were made and who bought them initially, and really how Banksy became a commercial phenomenon.
Well, and what is his background? For folks who don't know much about him, I mean,
well, Banksy's a mysterious person, so nobody knows what his background is.
So other than I would think his friends might.
We know his friends certainly do.
But they're not telling anybody. They've signed an NDA or something.
So far.
So far. All right, so and obviously, yeah, that's what Alan said. It's just really Banksy.
No, his dad is Banksy. Okay,
all right, so
here's an image of the girl with the shredded balloon.
Okay.
And so Girl with the Balloon is his most famous piece that he created on the street in London, and then began to make it in original paintings, began to make it in prints, and in 2018 he did this very famous stunt where he created a girl with a red balloon, framed it, sold it at auction, and when the hammer dropped, the piece was shredded. There was a shredder hidden inside the frame, and it just started to roll it down and started to shred it. Now, it actually only shredded half of the piece.
Can you imagine seeing the people's faces when that happened? Especially if you paid the money.
Must have been extraordinary. Can you imagine you've paid for this, and all of a sudden it's destroyed in front of you? Well, that lucky person, it became even more valuable because of the notoriety of the destruction of the piece.
So did they just take, I mean, is that what it looks like now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it looks like now.
So you have the top part that isn't shredded that stays framed, and the bottom part is out there.
Correct. But we've got, and I'll show you later on, we've got a whole room full of other iterations of the girl with the red balloon here.
All right, let's go check it out. All right.
So this is one of my favorite pieces. It's called the Ballerina with Action Man Parts. And you can see she's a ballerina. She's wearing a gas mask. And it's sculpture, which is great to give us some variety of the pieces that we have here in the exhibit.
So interesting. So he's clearly so talented that I mean, because normally with artists, do they focus either on sculpture or paintings? I mean, it sounds like he does a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit of everything. And yes, he's extraordinarily talented to be able to cross over between genres like that.
Okay, I have another question. Do we know that it's a he?
Well, we had a concept when we started developing this exhibit that maybe it was Banksy, but we believe it's a he.
Okay, all right. Let's keep going.
All right, so this Dorothy and Toto called Stop and Search. This is actually my favorite piece in the exhibit. And when I first saw a Banksy exhibit, we saw it in Europe, and I went on vacation with my daughter, who was 10, and my wife, and we were in Amsterdam, and we went to the Van Gogh Museum and saw incredible pieces. And then in this little house behind the Van Gogh Museum, there was this exhibit of Banksy art, and we went through it, and this piece was there that my daughter particularly was enchanted by. But really, all of these pieces, they're political, but they're also very funny. They make you think. The art is beautiful, and it gives you really something to talk about. And if the 10-year-old can talk about it, and the 70-year-old can talk about it, there's really something to go away afterwards and have some coffee and chat about in Banksy's work.
By the way, a question for folks going to the exhibit: are there any areas where they can purchase some of the artwork, or is it just a gift shop thing where there's prints that are available?
It's the gift shop with the prints.
Okay, awesome. All right. So what else we got?
Here we have the trolley hunters. Okay, so when we launched this exhibit in Toronto, and we were just starting this in 2018, and I was a relatively inexperienced producer of art exhibits, this piece was stolen.
Oh,
Someone
wow.
came in the
Toronto.
middle of the night, in Toronto, came in the middle of the night, took it off the wall, and we captured him on video, and as you can see, we have it, but yes, it was shocking.
Wow. How'd they get it back?
Police.
Ah, nice. They did their job. By the way, Allison, how's your shoulder doing? Okay, she's still got it going. All right. Awesome. All right, so what do we have? Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, I see what you were saying. So, Allison, come here and check this out. We are in the Straz. We are in the main hall. So they've got this actually segmented right on through the main hall here. That's really cool. All right, so what do we have here?
This is a very famous Banksy piece called the Rude Copper, for obvious reasons. So he's also made this in a number of iterations. This is a very rare print of it. This is a Paris Hilton CD that Banksy reverse shoplifted into record stores. That means he went in and put it in, and then you'd buy this and you'd have an original Banksy with all of his commentary on Paris Hilton.
That's great. Do you know how many you made?
I don't. That's a good question.
That's interesting. So just decided to go and throw them in there with the actual CD in there, though, right?
With
so
his own CD in there.
His own CD.
Yeah, completely replaced the product.
Well, I wonder if anybody actually opened that, like, oh, this isn't what I got, and just tossed it. Didn't know any better.
I'm sure they did.
That's crazy.
So Banksy's really associated with the mid-90s music scene in the UK. And in fact, to the point where his pieces were showing up wherever Massive Attack went on tour. And so one of the theories as to who is Banksy is that maybe he's a member of Massive Attack. So this area is all the different album covers and rock posters that Banksy made over the years.
So people are actively trying to figure out who it is?
Oh yes, definitely. There's been a lot of speculation.
Do you have an idea yourself? I mean, do you have your own opinion?
None.
Not for camera, at least. Okay.
Here's a shot of the Diana, the die-faced tenors, the Diana money that he created. So these are 10-pound notes with Princess Diana on them. And he got them into circulation. He just started getting them into stores and handing them out. And at one point, they went to the train station and threw them up in the air, so for hundreds of people to get them. And
did people try to use him as legal tender?
I'm sure people did, but moreover, they became very valuable.
Well, yeah,
it's his
of course.
comment on who should be Queen of England.
Yeah. Wow.
So we saw earlier images of the shredded girl with the red balloon. He's famous. This is his most famous piece. He first initially put it in the mid-90s on the streets in London, and now he's made a number of different iterations of it. And we have 3 very unique iterations, each with a different color balloon here on exhibit.
What do you think he's trying to say with this particular?
You know what? I've never understood it.
Yeah?
This one is one that's particularly appealing. It's beautiful. It's visually,
It is.
Visually stunning and memorable, and it's really been his key piece. But to me, I don't see the specific protest of it or really what's behind it. He has a wonderful quote, which we have over here. If you paint the same thing a handful of times, people accuse you of repeating yourself. Do it hundreds of times, and it's called a motif. So the girl with the red balloon is Banksy's motif.
And do you think the fact that it was with the whole shredded, I mean, do you think that's what really led to the its popularity, or do you, how crazy it was?
It was very popular before.
Oh, it was.
So it was his motif. It was his biggest piece before. But by 2018, I guess it kind of revived it, brought it back into everybody's radar.
Right.
When he shredded it.
Just right here, just sit back, hang out. Yeah, this is awesome. How long did it take you guys to put this together?
Well, we've been doing this since 2018, so specifically here on stage, it took about 3 weeks. In terms of gathering the collectors, that's taken years, and more collectors have joined along the way.
And it works out well for the Straz because they're in between seasons, and the new season starts coming up in the fall, so the timing worked out really beautifully. This is amazing, and again, folks can come out and check this out. I believe it was still September 24th, I think it was?
That's right, so it's only 8 more weeks.
You can say 27th, okay, so they've got a couple of months to check it out.
Correct.
All right.
So which color is your favorite balloon?
I think I like the red one.
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist too.
Yeah. Is that what I would be if I liked the red one, traditionalist? I was thinking to myself, I'm just kind of the boring guy. I just like the basic color. Now, did he make all three with the different colors? Okay, all right.
So Banksy's second most famous image is called the flower thrower. So we have the very first one that he ever did here on display, and this one was a gift for his girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And that was really the beginning of it. But then it really became a very famous piece. He's done a number of different versions, including on the street of it. And this one, which is a triptych, is one of the most famous versions of it that he's done.
Now, I have a question. If we don't know who he is, how do we have information on him and these specifics about a Valentine's Day present?
Well, that's a very good question. So the Valentine's Day present came because we met his girlfriend who received it. So when we were doing the exhibit in London, she came out and volunteered to display this, and we thought it was a very interesting story. The story got even more interesting because as soon as the first piece was exhibited, another woman came forward. She got the same Valentine's Day gift in the same year. So
Banksy, or then one of them was just making it up. I don't know. I mean,
well, so we asked around to the other Banksy-affiliated people that were in his circle that might know something about this. Is this true? And their comment was, well, Banksy was a fabulous artist, not a great boyfriend.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know if you want to do a quick pan of the room, but this is all of Banksy's most famous prints. And so it's really fabulous. Some of them are bright, spectacular colors. Some of them are black and white.
Now I'm asking a question. So, I mean, Andy Warhol was obviously known for his Campbell soup can, tomato soup.
And here
interesting.
you have Banksy's take on it, which is based on the supermarket Tesco.
And I did notice some of these are available, and I'm going to be a grandfather for the first time soon, and I noticed onesies. There were several onesies that I did notice that.
I want to show you our final piece in the exhibit, which is over here.
All right. Allison's like, yes, final piece.
So this is Banksy's own take on the Mona Lisa, and it's super cool. He's created this screen in front of it, which creates a very cool 3D effect. And this is the final piece in our exhibit. It's the most valuable piece in our exhibit. So you've seen pieces here that are prints, that are original paintings, that are sculptures, pieces that he gave to his first girlfriend, to his friends, to his buddies. Other pieces here have been collected by people who are art collectors, people from the tech business. This particular piece comes from Brad Pitt's collection.
Really?
So this was hanging in Brad Pitt's house, and this is the first time that it's been exhibited as part of our tour.
So how does that work? Does he just donate it for the tour and then he gets it back? Or?
Yeah, all of the collectors donate their pieces for the tour, and then they get it back, and sometimes they take pieces out mid-tour if they want to have them back in their house. So this is for people, the collectors who are here really just want the world to see their art.
That is so interesting. Well, thank you so much for your time. Now, how do people get tickets? Do they go to the Straz website?
They go to the Straz Center website.
Okay.
And then before you go, I do have a question, because I know you're an expert on this. So this is my question for you. Okay. We have something like $50 million worth of art here. Any hurricanes coming this way?
No hurricanes. We are good. Matter of fact, I think through August, we're good. Now, September, you're here to the end of September. I can't guarantee September, but you have my number. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out. Or you can watch right here on DPL too, because we're going to be telling everybody about that. So there you go, guys. The Art of Banksy, Straz Center, right on through September. Hope you stop on by. Again, thank you very much. It was a really great time. See ya. And there you have it. Streamers, thanks for stopping by. We're going to continue on Facebook. Have a great night and a great weekend. Whew, that was tight. We got that one in. We got it in with about 5 seconds to spare. So there you go. Anyway, really, really cool exhibit. You guys know me. I mean, my passions are, I love movies, I love sports, I love the kids. I've never been great at being really appreciative, I guess. Now, some of my kids, matter of fact, when Jake and I went on our debacle trip to Boston that never was, that American Airlines, whatever. Anyway, so we ended up spending the day on Sunday in Washington, and we went to the National Gallery of Art. He loved that. And a lot of my kids really love that. It's never been my passion, and I'm going to tell you, I loved this exhibit. I really, really did. There was something about it. I mean, the fact that guy is so talented, and he's definitely making some social commentary. I mean, there's a lot of commentary in that stuff. I love the one with Dorothy, The Wizard of Oz, where it's got Dorothy holding her basket, her infamous basket, and Toto right there, and then the guy searching the basket. I mean, so there's a lot of political commentary there, but there's a lot of incredibly interesting art and visual and colorful, and so I loved it. So again, that's going on at the Straz through September 27th, and it's a walking tour. You provide your own, you just walk on through it, and I really enjoyed it. So anyway, let's go back and finish up with talking about what's going on with the weather. All right, so if you're just tuning in, I'll give you a replay of the 7-day one more time. Saturday. It will not be as rainy on Saturday as I think it will be on Sunday. Coverage at about 60 to 70%. Sunday, it'll be more 70 to 80%. And then I think finally by the middle of next week, we're kind of back to more traditional August weather, which if you look historically at August, it is our rainiest month of the year. And it's more our typical late day, early evening storms. So there's 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's 7. A few showers along the coast, but then things start to build a little bit by late morning. Again, the farther north you are, the better the chances you'll see things. 2 o'clock, line starts to move inland, and then in the evening, the coverage begins to increase, specifically northern and central counties, but out into the Gulf. It just continues to move onshore overnight Saturday night. Sunday morning, I think it starts early. There's 6 a.m. on Sunday, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and you start to see the coverage really increase through the morning on Sunday and into the afternoon. So it'll start coastal areas first. It'll move inland later on. In my opinion, Sunday will be much rainier than Saturday is going to be. Overall temperatures across the area. So on Saturday, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies, but there will still be some sunshine mixed in. And look at your temperatures. This kind of shows it perfectly. We go 88 on Saturday because we're going to have a little more sunshine. But on Sunday and maybe even Monday, look how much lower the temperatures are because we're looking to be overcast during that time stretch. And then by the middle of the week, we're back into the lower 90s. Rain coverage, again, Saturday and Sunday. The higher coverage will be across the northern sections of our viewing area, Citrus Hernando, Sumter. Notice that on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're still getting rain because remember, August is, again, traditionally our rainiest month of the year. So it's not to say that things won't be active. They're just not going to be as widespread as they will be. And in the tropics, we are going to talk a little bit about the tropics now because the Caribbean looks great. The Gulf looks great. The main development region, which is the Caribbean to the Atlantic, also looks great. But I do want to show you something. And we talked about this yesterday, all right? So if you look at the models, the NHC is not showing any kind of development yet. But if you remember, the Euro and the GFS have been. Somewhere in the Bahamas, this is the GFS. And you just see all that rain. There's Saturday, there's Sunday, there's rain. There's Monday, more rain. Remember, when you get a stalled out front, you sometimes see low pressure developing along that front. And look at the end of next week coming into the southeast coast. See that? That's next Friday. A little something right there, potentially. There's your GFS. Now, the fact that the GFS is developing doesn't necessarily mean anything, but the Euro has been showing the same thing. So here's the Euro. You got that front stalled out on top of us. Good rain chances right through early next week. This is the middle of next week. Just middle of next week's more southeast flow. So that means sunshine in the morning, afternoon storms. But look at the low right there off the Carolina coastline. You start to see a little potential development, again, along a stalled out front. So I've been saying this now for about a month. While the main development region is very inactive, there's our rain coverage, by the way, for the next 7 days, so that's a good thing. Officially, the NHC is saying nothing out there over the next week, but let me go ahead and call that up one more time. Here, there's one other map here. This one. So here's the Euro's take on whether or not we see any development. This takes us through next week, and see, look what it does. It starts to show the same thing the GFS does. A little something out there. Now, it won't really have an impact on us, but what we've been saying for a long time now is with the way, let's call it Climate Prediction Center, tropical hazards map for you right here, right here. Okay, so the way we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks is the Caribbean and the main development region, very, very dry, not much going on. No, nothing going on. Week of August 12th to the 18th, same thing, nothing going on. But that same area, you have neither positive or negative indications in the Gulf and off the Carolinas. So I really think it's quite possible with stalled out fronts that you can see some weak low develop at somewhere along there and move northeast. So that is, if there were to be any hurricanes or any tropical storms developing, I think that's the area that it would form. Close to Florida, but not a big deal. And even down in the eastern Caribbean, you see down there, you get a little bit of flare up, but boy, most of the Caribbean and the MDR is very, very quiet. So there it is. All right, so Jason and Allie are in for me a couple days next week. We're doing one last family little trip. Well, most of, not everybody, but some of the family is doing one little trip. And I will be back the middle of the week. And then Jake goes to college. Wow, it sounds like a movie. Mr. Smith goes to Washington, Jake goes to college. Yep, our fifth of six kids starts at UF coming up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that's a big monumental thing with the Phillips family again. And I guess that's about it. So you guys have thank you, Jackie, I appreciate it. You guys have a great night. As always, I appreciate your loyalty. Have a great weekend. Again, scattered showers tomorrow, mostly cloudy, some sun mixed in, a lot like today, a little more coverage late in the afternoon and at night. But Sunday, absolutely higher rain chances, close to the word washout, I'm afraid, mid-morning on Sunday. And then it's kind of back to more normal weather for August, which is late day, early evening storms starting by the middle of the week. Have a great night, have a great weekend, and I will see you on our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.